to this game of Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Ikem. I live in Japan and I run old school D&D. Let's see. I'll tell you how to play it and what it is, and then we'll create some characters and start playing some D&D. Do you have any questions or concerns before I tell you how to play?
No.
Okay, cool. Alright,
Yes,
good.
can I have threesome with the rest of character cast?
No ski.
Huh?
Yes. You can definitely try in the future, but
Okay, good. Future, why not?
this is a game about getting gold and glory. Alright.
Yes, but included in glory is fuck.
Yes, that is true. Alright.
Okay. Huh?
Usually, if you're a man, it would be with women. So, all right.
Don't worry, man.
So,
I'm worried.
Let us continue. So, first, let me describe to you what D&D is. D&D is a Dungeons and Dragons. It's an old school, classic fantasy adventure role-playing game that displayed simply with dice, pencils, and paper. Okay, and it's all about just getting gold and glory by hunting down monsters, treasures, and bounties from dungeons guarded by dragons. Hence the name Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, the land is a medieval land, and it's terrorized by dragons. There's magic, there's monsters, and there's you, right? So you are adventurers. You're the player characters. So that when you join D&D, you'll be the player characters, which means you're players who play characters. And I'm your dungeon master, which means I'll be your master of the dungeon. And I'll describe to you what you're experiencing in the world of D&D. So now I'll tell you how to play. So now you know what D&D is, okay? It's an RPG. But now you need to know how to play it. Very simple to play D&D. First, the Dungeon Master describes to you the world of Dungeons and Dragons, what you're experiencing, and what you can try to do to win. Then, once you can imagine the situation in your head, you think about it, you might discuss it with your friends, your comrades, your fellow adventurers, and once you know what you want to do, you tell the Dungeon Master what you want to do. Then the Dungeon Master tells you what happens from your action. And usually, it comes with the roll of a die. Okay? So, that's how you play D&D. It's very easy. 3 steps. Dungeon Master says the situation. You think about it, choose your action. Dungeon Master rolls dice and tells you what happens. That's it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I roll to fuck already.
Alright, now you need a character to play. So now we're gonna say who's the strongest, who's the smartest, who's the quickest, and such, right? We're gonna determine your ability scores, your talents and flaws. We're just gonna start with Dave, go down the list. So I'm going to roll some dice, and you're going to record this on your paper, okay?
Oh, how? What for?
This is going to be for your strength, how strong you are, Dave.
My strength?
Yes. Skill in hand-to-hand combat, physical prowess. Let's see. You got 13 strength, which is very good. Any score that is between
what now?
13. So STR, TAC 13. Yes. 1-3.
13, I got it.
Alright, very good. Any score between 3 to 8 is considered low. That means below average, okay? Any score that is 9 to 12 in this game is considered normal. This is average. It's good. And then 13 to 18, like what Dave got, is considered high or above average, okay? Very good. Okay, so his character is clearly very strong with the 13th strength. His next ability is called Intelligence, okay?
Intelligence.
His character has an intelligence of 9, which is normal. He can read and write.
I'm stupid.
No, it's normal. Normal is not stupid.
Okay.
A score 3 to 8 means you're stupid.
He is stupid. I'm almost stupid. You are stupid.
A 9 is the same as a 12 in this, right? So if you have 9, 10, or 12, those numbers, then you're normal.
Okay, great. He is stupid.
Or 11 too. 11 is normal. Alright, the next ability is Wisdom. Your Wisdom is 9, so it's normal too.
9 again?
Yes, 9 to 12 is the average on these dice. Alright, next is your Dexterity. You have 9 Dexterity.
Next.
Next ability is Constitution.
Wait, I got what dexterity again?
9.
9 dex.
Yeah,
Okay.
very easy.
And then this con.
Constitution, you've got 9 as well.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it does very strange, but the same roll every time. Alright, Charisma is 11.
Charisma is 11. Oh, I'll take that. So he could fuck anyone in cast, yes?
Almost.
I'm about to be a bard. 11, okay.
Alright, Flounder, yours is next. Okay.
Flounder. Flounder, блядь. Wait, this is like I'm texting someone.
Okay. We'll come back to Flounder. Let's do Noski first then.
Yes.
Noski, here's your strength score. You got 12 strength. It's pretty good.
Well, very sure. What is next?
Intelligence. Your intelligence is 16. You're incredibly smart.
I am incredible smart Soviet weapon designer.
Yes, very clever.
Oh my god.
Alright, next is Wisdom. Your Wisdom is 15. You're also very wise and perceptive.
I am strongest character.
So you're smart, you're understanding. And here's your Dexterity. Oh, shoot, this one. Dexterity is 7. You're a bit clumsy.
Don't worry, man. Kalashnikov accept clumsy people.
That's your Constitution. 14. You're very tough and resilient.
My what?
Your Constitution, you got 14. Very good.
Constitution of America, man.
Yes, 14. 1-4 is your Constitution. And lastly is Charisma. Your Charisma is 11, which is decent.
Thanks. But don't worry, I fuck who I see.
Okay, and Flounder's turn.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Alright, here's your strength. All good, no worries. Alright, strength is 14. You're very strong. Okay. Sorry, one moment. We got to take a note.
What's happening right now?
I have to take a note real quick.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so next ability is Intelligence. Your Intelligence is 16. You're also very smart. Alright, next ability is Wisdom. The Wisdom is 10. It's normal. Then there's Dexterity. Dexterity is 14. You're very fast.
Okay, but what was that Wisdom? Was it 10 or 7?
10. 10. 1-0.
Okay, thank you.
Your Constitution was 14. Or no, sorry, that was Dexterity. Dexterity is 14. It is 15. You're very tough as well. Very lucky character so far. Okay, and Charisma.
Crap on charisma, so I don't feel.
Alright, Charisma is 10. You got it?
Yep.
Alright, very good. Next is your. Now you all have abilities. Now you gotta choose your class. Your class is your job, your role in the party. Because this is a role-playing game, you get a role, a job to do in the party. That's what it means. Nowadays, role-playing is different. It is like talking, just discussing in your character's voice. But in the old days, real D&D, role-playing meant you had a job to fill, right, in your party, a role in your crew. Okay, so you did your job, you played your role, and then you win. So there's 7 roles to choose from in old school D&D. The first 4 jobs are human jobs. Okay, you're gonna be a man if you choose this. You're either cleric, which is like a holy warrior, use your faith in God to protect the party, or you're a fighter, which is a man who has skill to fight, a man who fights. They're good at fighting, right? Defend the party as well, and fight monsters. Then there's magic user. Okay, magic user, someone who uses magic. you're going to use magic in the game to help the party, whether it be defend the party, fight monsters, find magic, right? Use magic. Then there's thief. Thief is got all the skills to help hunt monsters, treasures, and bounties down. They have the special skills. Their main job is to use their skills. Uh, whether it can be scaling a wall to lower ropes down for the rest of the crew, opening a door, right, reaching, all that. That's thief is a specialist. Then there's three demi-human class. They're not humans. They have their own way of adventuring. Coming from the dwarves, they're very good at fighting and exploring dungeons because they're used to mining in the underground, right? Then there's elves. They're good at fighting and using magic. They're from dangerous mystic lands, right? Deep woods, strange mountains, right? Then there's halflings, kind of on the countryside, living in the hills, on the ground as well. Are the halflings? They're very small people like humans, but they're like underground humans, and they're very good at hiding and fighting as well, especially hiding since they're so small. All right, so those are your options. Starting with Dave, the only class I do not recommend is none, but the class I recommend you is fighter based on your strength. But you can play any class because you have no flaws.
Okay, I'll go fighter. Why not? Do I have action surge? No.
This is not 5th edition. It is original D&D.
No. Okay, let someone join.
Hello, Angel. You're a bit late, but are you trying to play with us today? Also, I've give you a special role. Let's see. We retired the guard. Most of the guard was retired. So, there's a new guard now. People are stopping, so we had to make a new guard. Just rejoin the VC if you're trying to play. If not, no worries.
I'll just go for fighter, I guess. Why not?
Okay, fighter. Alright, good to go. You got the fighting skill, which allows you to attack at twice the rate at level 1, 4, 9, and 14. You also have permission to build strongholds. You're like a freeman, soldier. Or you're like a lordling. Noski, yours is next. Because your character is so intelligent and wise, the only class I do not recommend you is any of the dwarf, halfling class I don't recommend. They need high constitution. No, wait, you can play that actually. Let's see. 12, 16, 15, 7, 14, 11. Okay, you can play any class except thief. You want to play fighter?
Fighter.
Okay,
Yes.
fighting man. So you're a man who can fight as well.
Yes, I have Kalashnikov. Yes.
Yes, you got fighting skill. Very good.
No, I guess Kalashnikov. Yes.
What was that?
Okay.
1 second. Noski, what are you saying?
I get Kalashnikov later, yes.
What's a Kalashnikov?
Don't worry.
Okay. Alright, Flounder, yours is next. And hello, Angel, I can hear you. Just 1 moment.
Okay.
Alright, Flounder.
I think sorry, I think
Go ahead,
we'll be
sir.
a thief, if that's fine.
Thief. That's fine. It's just you have an average dexterity. Thief needs high dexterity, but you have normal dexterity. It's okay. You can still play thief.
Okay. Should I be like a cleric then? So we need a healer.
No, wait, no. Your dexterity is 14. Never. Oh, wait, no, it's 10. Yeah. Is it 10? Yeah, it's 10.
It says 14 on here. Wisdom, that's 10.
Oh no, wait. You're right. It is 14. I'm reading it wrong. Sorry. Yeah, thief is a good choice for you actually. Okay. You are going to be a thief. You have special thief skills. Okay. Allow me to tell you your skills. The fighter has 1 skill, it's fighting skill, but thief has thief abilities or skills. I'll tell you there are skills. It's a long list. You don't have to remember it, but just giving you an idea of what you can and cannot do as a thief. These are special skills. Anyone can try these things, but thief can do it super well, right? To the point of like, it's going to be very good. So you have the ability to climb sheer surfaces. The man needs a rope to climb a sheer surface usually. You have the ability to find or remove treasure traps with the key, right, or with your hands. Most just have to trigger the trap to disable it. You don't, right? You can take it apart. And you have the ability to hear noises, so you're a very good guard. You have the ability to hide in shadows, So you can, unlike men who can hide in just concealed areas or cover, you can basically just use a black or a shadow, right, to hide as well. You can also move silently. A man can move carefully and quietly, but you can move so quiet that you can sneak past enemies unnoticed, no matter if they're trying to listen or not. So you also have the ability to open locks. Okay, so uh, you can lockpick, right? And you also have the ability to pick pockets and pick loot without making noise, right? Or making anyone notice. So you get very fast hands, if that makes sense. And lastly, your combat ability is backstab. If you do a combat, you want to backstab. Otherwise, you're not going to be good as a thief. So guerrilla fighting, right? Take them down from the flanks, from the back. So that is your role as thief. Hello, Angel. We're starting new party, so we're gonna get you in the character.
Alright, let me get a piece of paper and paperwork.
All right, good to go. And then everyone else, thank you so far for your patience.
Hey, waiting to get Kalashnikov.
Kalashnikov,
Yes, character get Kalashnikov, yes.
I have no idea what that is. Is there an English term for it?
AK.
Oh, an AK-47. There is a
Yes.
medieval equivalent. Okay, it's a short bow, long bow, or crossbow.
Kalashnikov.
I believe the Russians, they
Right,
like to use
I'm ready.
long bow or short
What?
bows. Yes. Okay.
No, I got the AK before.
All right.
Are you gonna get AK?
Angel,
I rolled 20 and before.
here's your strength. You got a strength of 6. All right. Here's your intelligence. You have an intelligence of 7.
Okay.
Here's your wisdom. You got the wisdom of 11.
Shit, you know.
Okay. Here's your dexterity.
What was my wisdom?
It was 11.
Right.
All right. Dexterity is 12. Here's constitution. Constitution is 11.
Alright.
Okay. Here's dexterity. 13. Or sorry, no, that's charisma. 13. Last one. My bad. So last ability, charisma, 13. Alright.
Alright, got it.
You have flaw in strength and intelligence. The class I recommend is either cleric or thief.
I'll do a cleric.
Good to go. Alright. The next step is to determine your party's hit points. It's how hard your character can get hit before they're killed. We're gonna start with Dave. Dave is a fighter. He gets 1 to 8 hit points. 1d8. So you got the 5 hit points, Dave. Alright. Noski, yours is next. Your fighter has a +1 bonus due to his high constitution. So 1d8 plus 1 hit points. You got a 1 plus 1, 2 hit points.
What the fuck, man? These are both.
And yeah, it is the luck of the dice. Let's see. Flounder is next. You are a thief. You get 1 to 4 hit points. You have bonus of +1 due to your high constitution. 2 plus 1 is 3.
What's happening right now?
Hit points. How hard your character can get hit before they're killed. So Flounder, you got 3.
Where did I get? I was getting harassed by my cat.
Oh, Dave, you've got 5.
5. Wait, is it hit point?
Yes, hit points.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I got 5.
Alright, Angel, you get 1 to 6, rolling a d6. You're starting with 4 hit points.
Alright,
Okay, next is your equipment. Now we gotta get your weapons and armor, supplies, and tools. Okay? So listen carefully. I'll tell you your gear. Okay? I know you want the AK-47. Oh, you texted me.
left.
He is deserted. Okay, sadly. Noski is gone. So before you know it, a few days ago, your crew was buying weapons and armor, preparing for their first adventure. And one of your new members, Noski, who was gonna join you, has cold feet and does not join your party this week, sadly. Okay, we lost Noski. It's just the three of us now. Okay. So
There we go, boys.
a small crew tonight, but alright. Dave, you have got 12 silver pieces worth of equipment. I will list your gear. You'll be starting with some clothes.
Clothes.
And you got the bag.
Bag.
Yes. Alright. And what medieval weapon do you like the most?
The long sword. I'm a fighter, right?
Yes.
The long sword.
Alright, the two-handed sword, the best I can do you for is a bastard sword, but that's very expensive. It's almost all your wealth. You only got 11 silvers left. A bastard sword is 10 silvers.
Yeah, I'll just buy it.
You won't have any money for, like, a bow, for example, which you need to hunt monsters with, like a dragon, right? You cannot use a sword against a
I
dragon.
got my teammates. Hey.
Okay, you can rely on them. So, you got the bastard sword.
Bastard. Like,
You have a hand and a half sword, a bastard sword. It's between a long sword and a normal sword.
okay.
You also have a. You also start with a tinderbox.
What?
Tinderbox is your tinder for flint and steel, so you can survive in the wilderness.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you also start with. Yes, you also will start with a roll of bandages, so you can.
Oh,
Yes, if you're wounded, you can wrap your wound, prevent you from death. And next, you got 6 torches.
6 torches. Really specific. Wait, 6.
Yes, the reason why is because you had 1 silver left. We spent it. We spent it on tinderbox, which is 3 coppers, a bandage, which is 1 copper, and 6 torches, which is 6 copper, which equals 1 silver. Yes. All right. Flounder, you're next. Okay, we're gonna give you some supplies. Yeah. We're gonna start with your clothing and the key. Okay. Sorry, did you have a question?
No, I just didn't hear what you said. I apologize.
Okay. Nice. All right. Do you have a special weapon or a favorite weapon you want to start with?
Well, considering my teammate needs a bow, I think maybe like a crossbow would help me.
Okay. The crossbow is the medieval equivalent to a sniper rifle. It's slow but deadly. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So that case, you get the crossbow and case of corals. Okay. You will get a total of. Let me check the price real quick. Forgot the price. Mark it. Alright, corals, you get 10 for 1 silver. So you will get a total of 10 shots and 1 crossbow then. So 10 corals is your ammo. Let's see. Alright, next you also need a melee weapon. So we'll get you at least the dagger. And you'll start with, we'll need to get you some supplies. We'll get you a pack. So you got a backpack now. Carry additional equipment and supplies. And then you also start with tinderbox, 6 torches, a bandage, and you also start with a
bandages.
Yeah, bandage. And you start with a crowbar. Alright. Those are your items. That's it. Alright, Angel, you're next. Here's your. We're gonna start with some throws and a holy symbol. Alright, do you have a particular weapon you really want to start with?
This is my first time playing cleric, so what would you recommend for cleric?
Clerics like to use blunt weapons so that they don't lose favor from God. Murder is a sin, right? So, at least
I guess
against
I'll start with the club.
club? Okay. Alright. Next is murdering other men is a sin. You can hunt monsters freely, but if you are forced to fight another man of God, right, or just another man in general, it could cause you to lose favor. Alright.
Okay.
You got 3 stars left. We'll also get you. Let's see. We'll start you with a bag, a 10-foot pole. Yep. So a bag, a 10-foot pole, and let's see, a tinderbox and 3 torches. You have 3 torches. All right, and you also start with a sling. Okay, and do you want a pickaxe, shovel, or hammer?
I'll take pickaxe.
Okay, pickaxe. And we'll start you with some, let's see, medicine.
Okay.
A bandage. And a knife. Alright, that's it.
Alright, got it.
Okay. Alright. Final step to everyone's character is to choose a name. So, Dave, you have to choose a medieval name.
The medieval. What was the medieval name?
Like the name they used in like the 10th century or whatever.
Yeah, so anything before the 16th century or the 17th century.
I don't know any medieval names. Wait,
I can get you a random one if you want.
Sure.
Alright, one moment. We'll have a name generator for the game. It's in the.
Can I just call it David?
You could be David. That's fine. You'll be
Yeah,
David.
I'll be David then. Yay.
Okay. Your player name is to chooses your character's house name, like a family name. So it would be David of House Dave.
Like, what kind of house is there?
No, it's like your family, like house, like clan, right?
Oh,
so you're the
family. Hey,
your surname is Dave, and your name is David. So you're David, son of Dave. That makes sense. Or David of House Dave.
Okay.
It is pretty normal in medieval times. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
All right.
Well, it has a nice tone to it.
Mm-hmm.
David, son of Dave.
Flounder, yours next. What medieval name would you like?
Just off the top of my head, I think I'll go with like Hrothgar.
Hrothgar? How to spell it? Is it H?
Yeah.
H R O O H E.
Hrothgar.
All right, Hrothgar. Good to go. And Angel, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Judas.
Judas. All right, good. Let me change your nicknames. Alright, your nicknames are now also your character names. So we're gonna be starting the game very shortly. I'll give you guys a little break first before we start, in case you need to grab a drink or something. But when we do start, I will be your dungeon master. You can refer to me in the game world as dungeon master. So if you want to do an action, you have to speak to me. Um, Otherwise, you can whatever you say is between you and your friends, right, or the monsters around you. It's just your character conversing or thinking out loud. Uh, and then, of course, I will call you by your character names only, unless, of course, you can call me Ekin if you need to talk about something outside of the game, right? In case something happens in real life, and I'll tell you your player name in case this I need to talk to you about something outside the game too, right? So otherwise, when we're playing, we'll stay in character. Yeah, come back in 5 minutes.
Hello. Yo, I might need an ex. Oh, wait, no, it's here. Fuck. Dang it. One here? Oh, wait, I think I might need an extra, like, say, 5 minutes. If he's back, please tell me.
I'll tell them when everyone gets back.
Yes, thank you.
No worries.
Hello, is everyone back? It's been roughly. Oh, hello, are we back? It's been about 5 minutes.
Dave said something came up, so he had to take care of something. He said he'd be back in like another 5 minutes.
Okay, no worries. We can wait another couple minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what about Angel? I don't know if he's here or not. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you, Flounder.
I'll stay here. No worries. Just wait.
Okay.
Good to go.
Hey, I'm back. Is he back?
Yeah, we're all back.
We're back. Okay, awesome.
Just time.
Alright, yeah, let's get started then. Okay. There's about one more thing I want to discuss with you all before we actually start adventuring, and that's retainers. Okay. So retainers are like your men, right? Your manpower. So these guys are your servants and you're their employers, or so to speak. Retainers are retinue, right? So like if you were a lord, they would be your knights. Okay. They're here to serve you if you lead them and pay them well, right? So they follow you because you're a leader. You all are leaders. You're adventurers. Adventurers are like lords, right? Like men who set out and to get golden glory, but you're in charge eventually. And sometimes there's a leader among leaders, right? Which is up to you to decide as time goes on. But for now, you're all equals, right? You are three brothers who have promised to work together and lead a group of men to get golden glory. Each of you can have a certain number of men based on your charisma at one time. This is how many characters your character can reasonably lead up to at any given point. So based on their level of leadership skills. Okay, if you have less, then you probably can lead them better. If you have more, then it's going to be harder to keep your men together. If that makes sense. So a cleric of, let's see, a charisma of 3 to 8 means you might only be able to lead less than 4 men. Normal charisma of 9 to 12, you might lead up to 4 men at a time, right? And higher than that, you will lead even more men. So Judas, what's your charisma?
Is
13. All right.
13.
So you're one of the better leaders. You can lead up to 5 men. How many men would you like to lead for the 6th edition? All your men are poor people from the village who have only the clothes on their back, but are ready to serve you loyally.
I like to lead my first time, so I'll just say 3 this time.
3 men? Okay. Every man you take with you is going to be promised a half share and a silver piece a day, and a down payment of 1 silver, which you can pay after the adventure. You all are poor and desperate for work and money. Your characters are dirt poor, but they have gear and they have leadership, right? And so they're leading a crew of poor men to get golden glory, right? So Judas, I'm pretty sure all of you, none of you have any money left, but you have at least your equipment and your will to get golden glory and your leadership skill to get men, right? To join you. So Judas, these 3 men, the party will promise them a share of half, right? So like you get a full share, they'll get half shares. And you also pay them a daily wage of 1 silver. So no matter what, if you don't get treasure, you still owe these men something, right? For their services to follow you. No matter what though, you should be getting paid more than them if you're successful. Because they are following and you're leading. Same with anyone else who chooses to hire some men. So Judas, you get 3 men. They are either of your house or not. It does not exactly matter. But you are allowed to choose their names as long as they're medieval. So who did you recruit? You can list 3 names.
3 names. Can you pick for me?
Yes. Alright, so 1 moment. Alright. Your first man, his name is Anton. Okay. That's your first one.
How do you spell it?
Anton.
What was the last 2 letters?
On.
I got it.
Alright. Next, you've got Adolf. Adolf is, so Anton's Italian. Adolf, he's a German man. His name is Adalwolf. Or is the equivalent to what a German would be in this world, culture-wise, appearance-wise.
Wait, it's German. Can you repeat his name one more time?
Adolf, it's Adolwolf. Your second recruit. And your third follower, his name is Anurin. Anurin, he's Welsh. Okay. So Anurin is Aneurin. Okay. Aneurin. Alright, that's your second one.
I thought that was my third one.
Nope, that's your second. You got Adolf. Oh no, that is your third one. My bad.
Yeah, first one's Anton.
Yes, you're right. Okay. Alright, between your men, would you like to give them any of your equipment to use or carry? You got the
I'll
pickaxe.
give-
You can assign one a pickaxe, right?
Yeah, I'll give Anton my temple pole, Outer Wolf my pickaxe, and I'll give I'll give my third man a knife.
Okay. All right, good to go. Next is so that's your retinue. That's Judas's retinue. Hrothgar, your charisma is 10, right? Hrothgar, the veteran.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my charisma is 10, yes.
Very good.
I completely mixed up name for a second. I'm sorry.
All good. Yes. So Hrothgar, you were able to recruit up to 4 men in the past few days. How many men did you want to recruit?
I've seen how this works out for him. If we get no riches, then we may not be able to pay these men. So I say that I don't need any.
Okay, very well. That is a good point. All right then. And then David, how many men would you like to hire?
Holy wait, oh my god, wait, someone. I would. How many did I got?
Your charisma is 11, so you can hire up to 4 men.
I'll get one of them.
Just one?
One is fine. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to choose his name, or do you want a random name?
Just call him Gale.
Gale? All right. Good to go.
Yes.
You recruited the young man, Gale, into your ranks. All right.
What the D?
Now we have a party of 7, which is pretty good. 3 adventurers and 4 retainers.
Wait. DM, I need 1 minute.
No worries. Take your time.
Yes, fair back.
I'm gonna leave and rejoin for a second. My mic seems to be peaking.
All right.
It seems to be better now. Sorry.
No worries. David, are you still there? Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back, David.
What happened?
All right, David. So, as we were waiting for you, I also thought of another point. Would you like to give Gale any of your equipment to use?
Yeah, sure.
All right. In this case, you can
I
give
will
him
give him
okay,
3 torches.
3 torches. Okay. 2 will hang from his belt, and he will carry 1.
Huh?
He doesn't have a bag, so he has to wear them on his belt.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
It's okay. David
Yeah,
is
that's
all
all.
right. Gale is okay with it. All right. Let's set out. So now I'm going to describe to you, now that we're starting this adventure, describing to you the scenario. What's brought your characters together, and then from here, you guys get to choose your own actions. So, it was early September of year 14 when your party of adventurers came together one day to set out, right, in search of gold and glory across their lands. Their base town, or the village that they're from, is called Straza, the village of Straza. It is symbolized by the 3-headed serpent. The village is one of the few in the realm that have managed to survive the many years of terror from the dragons, the monsters, and magic. But your walls are strong, and your people proud, right? But you, what? Whether you're poor or not, you're a group of men, just kind of ragged men, who are in search of golden glory and quite in need of it. You're very poor. Soon you will have to be forced back into some type of labor, right? If you cannot make ends meet. But this might change today, right? You seek golden glory and you seek it beyond the wall. You seek to go out into the wilderness, most likely, to acquire this fortune of yours. A very dangerous way to do it, but very rewarding, possibly, if you're careful and successful. So, I'm going to describe to you, as your characters look over food and drink at the tavern. I'm going to describe to you the surrounding lands. You're looking over your map right now of the nearby territories that you can venture into to seek your golden glory. Straza is surrounded by wilderness. The surroundings of Straza itself, first of all, are countryside, like farmlands, and where the villagers live, right? The town. The walls protect only a small portion of the settlement and are used in times of distress, right? Terror of the dragons. The villagers can retreat behind the walls, and the men-at-arms and the garrison can fight off the dragon potentially, or at least hold it off for a while. In this world, this is a medieval world with magic monsters. People do not live exactly on the surface unless they really need to, or they want to survive longer. But this is a world in which the majority of mankind has to live, or is forced to live, underground, in places that eventually become dungeons, right, if they are invaded by monsters. But before that, they're called donjons, right, the castles, right, underground strongholds built like vaults in like Fallout, for example, right, to survive underground against the horrible wilderness. Okay, so most of the people in times of great distress will live underground, but in times of peace they will come to the surface and farm the land, right? So this is a peaceful time in Straza, but you see golden glory, uh, and there is golden glory to be found. So if you go beyond the lands of Straza, so let me describe to you your choices this week. As you, as your men, right, watch the three of you lead and just look over your maps. You can see your map, and listed in the middle of it is your village, Straza, the three-headed serpent village, right? So your hometown is surrounded by wilderness for miles around, but there's a road that goes northwest. I'm going to start with that. This road that goes northwest leads you to a neighboring village. If you wish to visit it for new jobs or new opportunity for work, there is definitely work to be done on this road. Caravans are constantly in need of guards to protect them and escort them on this road. Packages definitely need to be escorted, and bandits sometimes are raiding these roads, right? Waiting for victims to come across the road, they can rob them, right? So you can go on this road and hunt their heads down, right? So that's your first adventure if you want to. Use the road to get the adventure, golden glory. That is to the northwest of your lands. To the north of your lands, the road goes through here too. It goes north and then west. But directly north of your lands is a forest, a dense woodland, which monsters can be found, uh, and spirits have been rumored to be living in those woods. Okay. To the northeast are hills, forested hills, so rougher terrain, and some claim that even more dangerous foes live up there, and caves, potentially caves with monsters and treasure can be found. East of you are more hills and forested hills. To the southeast of you, open grasslands. You can find wild animals in grasslands, horses, and sometimes monsters too. And to the south of your lands, let's see, there's just more grasslands. You can use that to hunt animals or monsters in. To the southwest of your lands are grasslands, same thing. Grass offers hunting grounds, open for miles around, right? Forest has great animals too, right? And lastly, to the west is also just open grasslands and farmlands and such. So most adventure that you can find is to the north and the east. The grasslands is not very adventurous. It's just hunting, right? You can do hunting there or travel. Okay, so as you look at your map, though, what is the major scenario or situation, though? I'm gonna tell you this is for your party, what brought them together in the first place to get their golden glory as adventurers. You have heard that some of the farmers found a survivor who knew how to get back to one of the bandit camps. If you're interested, the bandit camps are apparently in the northeast. There's a single bandit camp out there, but it's garrisoned by at least 24 men. So if you're willing, you can go hunt them down. You only have a crew of 7 though. So with a small crew, you have to be very careful and divide and conquer their forces. But the bounty is great on these men. Your village offers a great bounty. The average man gets paid 1 silver a week for hard labor. Okay, you can earn 10 silver pieces for the head of one outlaw, and more importantly, for their leader, you can earn 40 silvers. Okay, double the bounty of the usual leader's head. So it's a high bounty placed on the leader's head. You can hunt them down, right? All those bandits, those outlaws to the northeast, you can go out, try to hunt them down. It's your choice, though. The 7 of you discuss over food and drink.
Oh yes, I'm enjoying. Is it too late again?
It is a bit too late. Let's see. Unless we haven't left the village yet. Unless they want to take the time to recruit you. If everyone's okay with it, then Kaden can play.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, just spam roll me a character. So my last one's died. So just spam roll me a character and then choose whatever class you want, whatever items. Doesn't matter to me. Down for whatever.
Alright. Yeah, that is the only option here, since you're late. Let's see. The strength is 4.
Oh my.
The intelligence is 9.
Okay.
The wisdom is 4.
Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck you, dude.
It is the luck of the dice. Your dexterity is 14.
Oh, beef. That's stupid.
Your constitution is 11.
Jeez.
And your charisma is 6.
This character's stacked. Right.
You have 4 hit points.
That's not bad for a thief.
Alright, items. Clothes and a key. Alright, you also got a longbow and 10 arrows. Or no, 20 arrows. Sorry, 20 arrows. And then you have a pack. You've got, let's see. You've got a 10-foot pole, a tinderbox, 6 torches, a crowbar, a 50-foot rope, and you've got a knife, you got a shovel, and you got 3 iron spikes. That's it. Alright. What name do you want?
Anything?
Your name is Bezo. Okay. B-E-S-O. You're Georgian. Yes. Bezo.
Bezo.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I'll bit. Thank you very much.
Right. And you can have up to 4 men. No, wait, sorry, 3 men. How many men do you want? Alright. Your men are Oleg's. It's one of your first one. He's Latvian or Latvian. Alright. Yep, Anil. Anil is Turkish. So Oleg is Olegs, and Anil is Anil. And your third man, his name is Sior. Sior is Welsh. Sior. Those are your three men.
Are they like retainers? Do they fight for me, or they just hold shit?
They're your retainers. They're normal
They fight
men, but
shit,
they're your
okay.
retainers. You promise them half share on a silver piece a day, and 1 silver debt to them because you cannot pay them for their clothes.
That's good. As long as they fight for me, I'm fine with it.
They have no weapons though, so you have to arm them with the equipment you've got. They have sticks, so sticks and stones.
Shit.
All right. What equipment do you want to pass them between your gear? You can give one a shovel if you want, one a knife, or a crowbar.
Yeah, I'll give one a shovel, one a crowbar, and then one just good torches. I'll give him the I'll give him iron spikes. Use those as weapons.
Okay, your men are armed. All right.
Awesome.
So a party that's late to your party, or is of course, Dazzle's retinue, right? So as you're discussing our food and drink this evening, someone shows up late and asks to join your party. It seems that you have accepted their offer or their request to join your party. So you're joined by Bezel, the apprentice of House Caden. So change your name. All right.
Sorry, I did it for me. Thank you.
So, you have been discussing our food and drink. What would you guys like to do then this week, based on the situation?
I mean, we have one extra person. We have 4 extra people. Should we just go for the bandits? Northwest? Sure.
I would say that the bandits could be dangerous. I recommend we exercise a more cautious approach and team up with potential merchants in the area to
Escort a caravan?
with it and get paid for it.
Do we have money to team up with them? Because we're not paid shit. What we can't do is try. What we can't do is to try. Oh, give me one.
There are caravans in your village's market that are always in need of guards to escort them. Some days there are none, but most days there are.
We can, like I was trying to say, I mean, what we can do for the bandits is just try to lure one bandit out of the fort, one by one, ambush it. Yeah.
DM, do we know where the bandit fort is?
You've heard rumor that, like I said at the beginning, what brought your crew together was a hook, right, or like a lure, so to speak, like you got a hint at where you could find some of the bandits, right? Particularly, you've heard that the bandit camp was reported to be to the northeast. Someone survived and escaped the camp, and spread information on where the camp could be found. So to the northeast are some forested hills. They're heavily guarded by a garrison of at least 24 bandits, though. So you're gonna need to be very careful of a large enough force to fight such a enemy force, right? Bandit camp. So you have a crew of around, let's see, 11 men. So you have half their numbers potentially. And if you're very careful, you might be able to even win. But right now the odds are against you, right?
I'm a pretty pretty good thief. I got a +1. I can sneak attack. I can backstab pretty well. So
All bandits are thieves, so they're gonna do the same thing.
oh yeah, no. they gotta notice that we're there first. I already know they're there. So it sounds like a trap, like someone escaped, spread information about them.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Don't matter to me though. You can do whatever you guys want. What did the other two wants to do?
I'm still in the camp of try and team with the merchant group first, but
alright, let's go do an escort then. Yeah, sure. We can go team merchant. Let's go. Vegan, we made a decision. We're gonna be an escort group.
Okay, good to go. Right. One moment. The night will pass by then. You will leave the tavern. You would only get enough food that your copper piece that you earned that day of hard labor can afford you. So before you guys were talking and discussing, you all just got done with your shifts and you told your normal job that you would be, of course, starting your new job, right? You're leaving your old jobs behind. So you have a part-time job that you'll do in between adventures, typically, which is hard labor, right, of your class. So fighters in this crew in the village, you probably help man the walls or at least maintain the walls. Thieves in this crew, you're probably tradesmen, or I meant the village hunters or scouts. You're probably just the lowliest though, so you're just probably skinning and butchering animals in your off time to make a cup piece a day. Someone's got to do it. And clerics, you're the lowliest of the temple, right? You're probably the temple as the lowliest of acolytes, just sweeping and normal prayer and worship. Let's see, and scribing, right? Writing things down. So those are the only roles you have in the party. So that's all I'm going to describe. But today you start your new job, or the next day you will, right? So after a night of rest. Okay. In the morning of your first day of the adventure, you visit the markets in search of work, looking for merchants to perhaps escort. So your band of 7, 4 adventurers, and plenty of retainers, right? 7 retainers, right? So almost a dozen men are marching through the markets in search of work. And you find a small caravan who you're able to talk with. You're just looking around, asking the peasantry if anyone's looking for an escort, right? A small retinue of men to escort them. And one of the caravans do call out to you, right? Say, hey, gentlemen, over here. We hope to be leaving soon, actually. Our last group of men that were supposed to take us to the nearby village to the west, they bailed on us. So hopefully you can help us today. What do you say?
Yes.
All right then. Well, if you're going to join our services as our escorts, we'll be paying you well. By the time we get there, we'll pay you each 1 silver piece, and for any heads that you acquire along the way, we'll pay the bounties for those too. Any bandit you manage to murder on the road, we'll pay you 10 silvers, 10 times as much, right? Is this a deal?
Yes. That sounds good to me.
Right. You shake the merchant's hand. He has his own personal guards, but the personal guard won't be enough against a crew of a dozen bandits, right? For example. So his own guards, he has about 3 personal guards, very well equipped in armor, but they need manpower, and that's where you come in, right? You all will be promised a silver a day. The travel to the next village is only about a day away. That's why your wage is only 1 silver, which is a week's wage. He's paying you a week's wage just to guard the caravan, whether you have to fight or not, right? So.
Yes.
All right, today at noon. That's when they're gonna leave. So, is there anything else you guys wish to do at the village before it's time to go? It's still morning.
Not much.
My first job should be easy. Okay.
Is there anything in the village of note that we would need to take care of first?
Nope. Oh, good to go.
All right, very good. Yeah, let's see. We're about halfway through our game. Please enjoy another 5 minute break. So you guys rest period as you're resting before the adventure, or I guess the escort begins. So take 5 if you need to.
Okay.
Come back in 5. Alright, it's been roughly 5 minutes. Hopefully that was a long enough break. Let's continue. So, thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. We're done with our break now, so let's continue. Your party has waited all morning for the caravan to set out. You've promised this group of merchants, or this merchant and his group of guards, to help escort their caravan to the west. You'll be using a road to get to the village of Grovedo, okay, symbolized by the kraken. The village of Grovedo is on the coastline to the west. The journey is roughly 3 leagues out, so you will march north along the road, west, and then west again, for a total of 3 leagues, 9 miles. Your party's rate of movement is half speed, so which is about 12 miles a day. However, on the road you move 50% faster, so you move at 80 miles a day. So in this case, it's only going to take you about 4 hours to get to the village of Graveda, if all goes well. So you should get there by around 4 p.m., right? It's about noon by the time we set out. So at the end of the day, right, 4 p.m. and a couple hours before sunset, where everyone was asleep, you should arrive in Curvado, right? Curvedo. So Curvedo, if you want to spell it, is Cravedo. It is the nearest village from Straza. A coastal village. Alright. Let's travel. So, easy day, hopefully. There's a 1 in 6 chance of encountering a monster, no chance of getting lost because we have a road to follow. After a day of travel, to the forest north of Straza, through the swamps west of the forest, and into the village of Gravedo. After 4 hours of long marching on the road, escorting the caravan, right, which is just a couple carts led by some animals, donkeys, horses, and such. And then, of course, the heavily armed and armored caravan guards and your crew. You've made it. You arrive at Crovedo around 4 in the afternoon. You approach the surrounding farmlands, the countryside, children playing in the grasses, farmers working their fields, and then the walls of Crovedo. The coastal walls of Corvedo are built along the rocky coastline here. Wooden palisades, right? Wooden battlements. You get to the gate, the guards talk with the merchant. The merchant, at this point, says to you, not anyone can pass into the walls of Corvedo. But you're welcome to enjoy the rest of the settlement, right? At this point, he is departing from you. He tells you that he will need an escort in the morning, right? But not anyone can get into the walls of Corvedo. You're allowed in the countryside, right, the outskirts of the walls, but they only allow citizens or people with a pass, right, like a ticket or a permit to go into the walls. So if you're from Corvedo, you can go into these walls, right? Or if you're a merchant who has provision, right, a permit, then you can go in. These merchants and the guards have permission to go through the walls. Your village, Straza, you can easily go into the walls because that's your village, right? But this is not yours. You're foreigners here in this village. So you're not allowed into the walls. You're allowed into the public space, but behind their walls or into their vaults, right, their dungeon, right, you cannot go in. Right, so you're left outside, but you get paid before they leave eventually. They pay you each a silver piece, so you've acquired their first payment. You all have 1 silver now. Every member, even the guards, or even your retainers were paid 1 silver. So you got your first pay. If you want, you can wait for them and camp in the countryside for the morning when they leave the next day. Would you like to do this or something else?
Just wait. Just wait.
Alright. Not a bad choice. Pretty easy money, right? Let's see.
Yeah, so far. I want to say like when you're saying an action, just say we wait. Oh, okay.
Okay, so does anyone not want to wait at the village? Or you guys want to discuss? You have to decide as a party. You stay together, right? So are we gonna stay in the village together?
Do you guys want to stay? I want to stay. Yeah, I'll stay in the village.
Right. So you go into the countryside to encamp. You're welcome to encamp the countryside. You like ask around the locals where you can rest tonight. You can rest in the countryside, the open fields where there's no farming going on. You can rest beyond that. Of course, at that point, it's not very safe though. There's also a place to sleep out here. It's called an inn, but it costs money. They ask for 1 copper a night at the Poor Inn. Would you like to go to the Poor Inn and rest there? You will have no encounter checks if you rest in the inn.
Boys, we should get an encounter check. Let's go outside. Yeah, I'm down to camp.
Yeah, I say it's kind of right about now.
Camp outside? Okay.
Yeah,
Camp outside.
You have a band of around 11 men. Go into the countryside, make a fire, and get some rest. You have no tents, no beds. You just sleep close to the fire, right? All of you.
We'll take night watches. We'll rotate so we all get good enough sleep.
Gotta go. Sounds good. You keep warm by the fire. You have a few men watching at a time, right? Maybe a couple men each shift. So the night will pass then. Let's roll to see if we encounter anybody. What we can encounter in villages are bandits, thieves, outlaws, right? Sometimes even the guards or farmers. During the night and during the afternoon, nothing happened. It's an eventful time. You get good rest and sleep. In the morning, you're hungry as hell, right? No one has eaten yet. The party is starving. So, would you like to go to the markets to purchase food? The village markets.
Yes.
Okay. You go into the village markets just outside the walls, right? And you're in the village now, just the surrounding settlement of the walls, beyond the walls of the castle and such, the donjon. You find in the markets plenty of food. The village has fish and all sorts of food available. If you want to stock one normal food, it is going to be a silver piece for 10 days of food, which will feed 10 men for 1 day. You'll probably need to buy at least.
Take out of my share.
Okay.
Take out of my share.
It will cost about 2 silvers to afford enough food for your men. So Bezo pays 1 silver. Who else will pay for food?
I'll do it.
Give me a name.
David.
David pays? Very well. So you guys will make no profits at the moment, but because you guys paid, maybe you guys are entitled to a higher share later, right? To get compensation. Let's see. But you pay for the food, and so you go back to camp, you feed your men for the morning. So your men are very happy now, right? You get some eggs and vegetables, like porridge. You guys cook together over the fire, and you cook your meals and you eat breakfast together. It's a good time. All right. The morning is passing. Do you want to meet with the merchants? They probably are at the markets, actually, caravans you need to escort. You want to find them?
Yeah, let's go find
Okay.
them. Yeah.
In the markets of the village outside, as you're marching through the markets, you're approached by a different group of men. This time, you're approached by some of the village guards. Halt! How do you guys respond? They call you to halt. You stop? Wait for them.
We halt and say we're part of a merchant's guard. We come here on business. We're guarding a merchant.
They nod and they say, "All right, that is understandable. I suppose you look like you're from Straza. Based on your accents, you probably are Strozzian. But do note that these merchants here, they are in need of assistance quite constantly. However, we are probably in need of your help more this evening, or this rest of the day."
We are loyal to our guards. We have already given them our word that we would fight for them. We cannot help you. Sorry. I'm going to continue walking. Ask if they need help first. No. We're going to keep walking. We're going to. Well, I mean, you can, Angel, but it's not a good idea.
Bezos, you're the latecomer. You do not lead this party, but you can try. Bezos says, "Let's go." Right? He immediately declines the offer. Judas says, "Wait." Right? So Judas, you want to speak with the guards? Instead, Bezel walks off, and probably might ruin your chance to get employment here.
I just want to ask what they need help with. That's all.
Okay. Alright, just because you're in disagreement, or if anyone is in disagreement, doesn't mean everyone else is. So make sure that if you speak for the party, you speak for the actual party, right? If someone's in disagreeing, right, that means you're not speaking for the party. Judas disagrees, right? Judas speaks with the men. So as you can walk off Bezo if you want, and then Hathgar and David.
I'll just watch from a distance.
Okay, you're with Judas then, the main party. So the guards halt you, right, and they tell you that they are in need of your assistance. They tell you that although merchant caravans are very important to protect, the sea is in dire need of men like yourselves. There's another crew going to set out soon, and they are low on numbers, but recently we've been suffering many coastal attacks. Sea bandits, pirates. They are raiding our coastlines. We cannot continue to send boats across and deliver cargo, including people, to different lands along the shore if we don't have numbers to keep defending. And your lot looks like you might be in need of better jobs. And perhaps you can probably do a lot more with a party of your size at sea. What do you say? Would you like to perhaps board this next ship? Bezza, you're not there. It's just the party's here. You deserted. Or you didn't desert, but you split from the party.
He's also the guard. I'll give a quick thought, and I'm gonna go gather the rest of my crew and see what they think.
Alright, so you discuss with David and everyone else. Bezza, do you want to rejoin the party at this point? So the guards are waiting off a distance now.
Yeah, I also messaged something in Tavern if you look at that.
What?
But am I gonna lose lawful for abandoning the caravan?
You didn't accept the next job yet, so.
Oh, okay.
You never abandoned it, right?
I mean, I'm fine going with our original job.
The next job is more dangerous, but it'll be the same thing, but at sea.
We can do that then. It's up to you guys then. I just didn't want this to come up. I'm good to do anything then.
You guys want to help man the boats, right?
Yeah, sure.
So those guards that you just met, they're not exactly village guards. Village guards wouldn't just recruit people. Those are the guards of the boats. They're recruiting people right now in the market.
Hold on, what about you?
So these are boat guards. They're private guards, right? That escort boats.
I say it seems sketchy, but we can't just desert these people, so we may as well help them out.
So there's more merchants, the sea merchants, right? That need guards.
Say yes.
So Judas, you say yes? You want to go see what they've got to offer?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else, or does anyone else object or have any questions, concerns before we accept the guards' offers to maybe inquire more on the job?
Yeah.
You still need to sign papers. All right. No one else objects. No other questions. Okay. You go back to the guards and tell them that you're interested. They tell you, all right, very well. Follow us. We'll get you employed right away. You eventually meet with the dock or the merchants at the dock. There's a few sea merchants here that you're able to meet with the captain, right? You visit his quarters in a boat. This is basically not a very strong boat, but it's large enough to escort. It's a small, basically, sea boat. And under it, in the hull, right, you're able to go into his quarters and talk to him about employment. He's in need of, mainly, at the moment, people to row his boat, right? Or to basically power his boat. You're going to get paid a silver piece a day for your hard work, and there's bonus pay. If you work hard enough, you can get a raise, right? So he pays 1 silver a day, and if you work the next day, it's consecutively, it's 2 silvers, and then the next day it's 1, and then 2, and then 1, and then 2. So basically 3 silvers for 2 days, right, of work, instead of 1 silver per day. So slightly more, or in other words, it's 1.5 silvers a day, right? So it's more than normal caravan work, and also for the heads you cut off. Bandits are pirates, right? Vikings, they're one of the most deadly kind of bandits. They're well armored and they know how to fight. So if you do end up killing some, the payment's very high to kill a Viking, right? So a pirate on the shore, at sea. But most of these boats are failing. Right? So payment's higher, but the risks are higher too. All right, just to give you an idea of how much more you're going to get paid. It says that most of the pirates out there, he'll pay you 10 silver for, right? But there are a lot tougher pirates out there, right? Or Vikings. So those ones, right? He's willing to pay up to maybe even 40 silvers, and if you manage to kill a captain or a lord, even more money, right? So perhaps even 100 silvers for a captain, right?
What does everyone think about this higher risk?
I will take the risk. Fine with me, but it's gonna be a little tougher. We're brand new adventurers. You're not well equipped for fighting Vikings, but it is up to you. I drunk late, so
It's up to every member, not just one. So
yeah.
you all are
If
equal
so,
members.
if we're all in agreement,
Okay, all in agreement.
Yes.
All right, very well. So you accept his offer. You sign the papers. You shake hands. You'll be escorting one caravan, right? One sea caravan. Okay, it's one boat that you have to help. Basically, fight for it and you row it, right? You're basically just an extra hand, but you're here to do everything that they ask you, right? You don't have a particular role. But starting out, you're gonna help row this boat. It's a galley, so to speak, right? A galley boat. So you go into the galley, you help row. It's hard labor. You have other men here who will also be paid. You're not alone. There's many other men who have to help row the boat so that you can move at a reasonable rate across the sea. But this boat is let's see, size. All right, so this is for the sea. It is a small galley. That's what it's called. And
It's called a small galley.
yeah, small galley. It's a shallow draft and a single square sailed mast. Let's see. Otherwise, I think I can tell you that it requires a crew. Let's see. It's good for coastal waters, and then which is what we're sailing through. It's about 60 to 100 feet long. The beam is roughly 10 to 15 feet tall. The draft is 2 to 3 feet. Okay. Also, I can tell you that it requires a crew to move at a crew of 60 men to move, or oarsmen, right, to move reasonably. However, we are low on numbers. This merchant only has 30 men, roughly, so it moves at half speed. So it moves at 45 feet a day instead. Let's see.
Which also means if we're being pursued, they'll be able to catch us no matter what.
Yeah, so that's why they need the numbers. So that's why they're in desperate need of anyone who's willing to work for them. So you guys have accepted the offer, adding 11 men to this, right? So they started with 30, now they're at 41. So they're still moving at around half rate, though. It's still not quite 60. So
Which means we are at a disadvantage.
all right, let us begin our travels at sea. And they don't ship out, or they don't set out until the next day, right? So they're just hiring men at the moment. Do you guys have anything else you want to do in the village before we leave? We're in the village of Cravedo. Cravedo.
Are they going to be providing rations for us?
They will feed you, house you, and pay you.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm good to go then. I don't know if you guys are.
Okay. So there's the markets, there's the castle, which you can't really visit because you're not Cravodian, Cravedish, right? And then next you can also, if you need to, so again, markets. There's also training grounds, which you're not really welcome to either because you're not from here. There's let's see, there's craftsmen here if you need to commission items to be made. There's the armorer, the weaponsmith.
We don't have any money.
Oh, no money? Alright, very well. There's nothing you can do in the village then. Except wait and pass your time. You guys need to discuss anything before we set out the next day?
We have no money. We're good to go.
Alright, you want to wait in the town or do you want to wait at your camp?
Camp.
Until the next day. Alright, so you spend time at camp in the countryside. Afternoon shift, night shift. In the night, it's the usual type of rest, right? You have your guards out, taking turns on shifts. Okay, so let's see. We do have an encounter tonight. There's a few of you awake at this time. While you're resting, your band of let's see, was it your band of 11 men? You're encamped in the outskirts, and about 2 of you are awake at this time. I'm gonna roll to see who it is. The guards tonight, while everyone is peacefully asleep, is Judas, the acolyte, and Basil, the apprentice. So you guys are awake at this time. You're on the outskirts of your camp, just looking outward, maybe strolling, patrolling the surroundings of the camp. You're listening carefully for sounds, and suddenly, from the darkness, arrows come flying into your camp. Okay, someone has ambushed your camp. So you're in the countryside, and someone decided to attack your camp. Let's see. So arrows coming in, right? Firing in from the shadows, the darkness. You guys were on guard, but you saw nothing. It's completely dark, and you just hear crickets until arrows flew toward you.
I'd be in the shadows, right, guarding.
Yeah, you were careful and quiet. As soon as arrows came through, you have one. Let me roll to see if either of you were surprised. You're on guard. You can't really be surprised, but let's see. Yeah, so neither of you are exactly surprised. You have one action before the arrows fly toward it. You can take cover, right? Give a moment to act. So Judas, as soon as you heard some sudden whizzing, did you want to duck, or what was your move from there? All right, you dropped to the ground into tall grass, right? And Basil, you're patrolling, right? There's no shadows to hide in. It's just the fire, right? So unless you move into the darkness, what's your action as soon as you hear whizzing arrows?
We yell, "Wake up!"
All right, yell, "Wake up!"
Wake everybody up.
All right.
Yeah.
As you yell that, you're fired upon. Okay. Let's see.
That's fine.
All right, rolling to see how many shots are coming. All right. So numerous shots fly in from every direction, right? And let's see, about 10 arrows flew over Judas's position, whizzing over and over past his position. But he took cover before any of them could touch him. 10 arrows went for Basil's position, right? He's filled with arrows. So as he yells, "What the fuck?" And then mid-sentence, right, he's filled with arrows, right? I'm not going to even roll for it. We already know he's going to die.
Did everybody wake up then?
Yes, you're in the middle of alarming the party when you're shot up. So arrows going through your chest, arrows going through your face, your back. Basil falls on his knees, filled with arrows, and is dead. So our first casualty.
Did everybody wake up though? Did I get everybody awake?
Yes, possibly.
Okay.
If they are paying attention, then they're awake naturally. If they're not paying attention, then they're still sleeping, right? So.
Awesome. Good luck with the raid, boys. I got you awake. You guys can fight this. It's doable.
Right. Our first loss of the game, Basil's casualty. Could have been prevented, but he has chosen his way. Right? Let's see. All right, Judas, you're next. So, you took cover on the ground. You're surrounded by enemy fire, right? What's your immediate action after this?
I was thinking, duck, and look. I'm gonna turn back, see if anyone's awake.
Okay, you turn back to your camp, see if anyone of your men are awake. Back to David. David, you wake up to the sound of someone shouting mid-sentence, right? before you hear them filled up with arrows. You hear arrows all over above you, right? Firing in every direction. What's your move from here, David?
I pretend to be dead.
All right, you stay low, stay on the ground. Hrothgar, you hear all this happening. What do? We're ambushed.
Well, I wake up.
Okay.
I immediately grab my torch and start lighting up the tall grass.
Okay. So you try to start the fire. Let's see. All right.
Start a fire so we can get the bandits on guard and potentially find them as well.
Okay, so you crawl to the fire, right? You're pulling your torch from the bag and lighting it against the flames right now. And as you're doing this, you can hear the bandits out there. They're coordinating, right? They're like, hold fire. And they're all like, they've stopped firing, right? And you hear them approaching the camp now at this point. And your men, all your men, I'm going to roll morale check. If any of them fail the morale check, they get up and try to run. That means they're going to die. So, Gale, or actually, who's the player of Gale?
Me. Wait. DM, I got something. I need to go. I got some work call.
David, you gotta go?
Yeah.
Or Dave? Okay, very well. What happens when you leave a session mid-game is just your character's morale breaks. So they basically want to just run and survive, right? So, thanks for playing, and until next time.
Yes.
You'll get to find out if you lived or not if you come back. Alright, have a good one, man. Alright. So, Judas and Hrothgar are left. David is broken, right? He's just laying there on the ground. Let's see. Awake, but not really.
So we stand no chance between the two of us.
Indeed.
If there are as many bandits.
A large band of bandits.
So, best I can do is put my hands up and surrender.
You want to get up at this point? Let's see. Rolling for the men.
Yeah, I'll get up, my hands up, surrender.
Okay. So, Judas, you want to stay low, or what's your move?
How far is Basil Pond?
It's the opposite side of the camp, right? You guys were patrolling.
Okay.
So you're north side, let's say, and he's south side. And then Hrothgar is somewhere in the middle, right? With all the other people sleeping around the fire. So whatever fire at us, fire from a distance, naturally. A safe distance.
How many of my men survived?
I'm rolling for it right now to see who got up. So Gale is yours, Anton's yours, Adolf is yours, and Honorin is yours. All right, so. Oh, Gale's not yours. Gale belongs to David. Okay. So I rolled, and it turned out of all these men, Anton decided to stand up in the middle of it. He was afraid, right? He woke up like panicking, right? He got to his knees, and as soon as he got up, the enemy were approaching at that point, so they weren't exactly firing. He got up, right, and could hear people approaching. He would get right back down, and he would yell like, "We're gonna die! We're fucking gonna die!" He's afraid for his life, right? So his morale's broken at the moment. He's scared for his life. But the enemy are rushing our position, right, with bows or something, right? And we're all low to the ground. Hrothgar, you want to get up and surrender?
Yeah, I think maybe they'll take us captive instead of killing us.
Okay. Hrothgar, you get up and say, "We surrender!" Right? Or you want to just speak for yourself, or do you speak for your whole party?
I think maybe Judas can sneak away, but I'm going to shout, "We surrender," and speak for myself and
For your men? Alright. You're in charge of these men, so if you get them killed, your family will be shamed, right? Let's see. So Hrothgar stands, right? His men are not certain what he's about to do, and he offers to surrender to the enemy. Let me roll the reaction, if they're going to accept your surrender or not. Okay. So I rolled the reaction, right? And what actually happens is when you stand up, you were the one trying to light a torch, right? You never finished it, so you're halfway through your action. About to light a torch, but you decided to get up and surrender instead. So you watch around you, and slowly they approach the radius of the firelight, right? The campfire, and you are finally able to see these men. They are indeed, uh, like yourself, men at arms, right? Or mercenaries. Any mercenary who's kind of against us, we call bandits. To them, you're considered bandits. To you, they are considered bandits, right? Outlaws and thieves. And these men, um, they surround you, bows readied, right? They'll have longbows and such. And a few of them approach you at once, right? Just a handful. They shoulder their bows and draw their daggers and their short swords and such. And as they approach, your men are just shivering on the ground, anticipating what's going to happen next, right? They're just waiting there. Judas, do you want to just wait there too, or do you want to start crawling to the grass? You're surrounded, though. You want to get up and surrender too? What's your action?
How big is our campfire? Is like a size that we're able to put out quickly, or
That's a large one. It's about it's a large fire pit. It's about 3 feet by 3 feet. All right. So the men are approaching. They're like,
I'll try to crawl past
okay,
the bandits.
into the grasses. All right.
Yeah.
Right now we're in a clear area of grass where we're camping. A clear patch of area or clear patch of grass that's not too high, so we can at least sleep comfortably, But you're going into the tall grass where they're coming from. Hopefully they won't notice. But these men are approaching. They started from around 30-ish, 40-ish feet, and they're closing in towards 60 feet or 20 feet. These are a handful of men. The rest of them stay at 40 feet. Your firelight provides roughly maybe 40 feet of light. That's how bright it is. But these men who approach you, uh, they call out in some various, or they call in the language of Crevedo for a moment. They have Crevedo accents, so they're Crevedian, right? And then they start to speak the common tongue of the land with their Crevedian dialect or accent. You all speak the village. You all speak Stravic or Strasvian, uh, or Strasius, whatever you want to call it. But you also speak the common tongue of the land too, the land or the language of the realm. So, but you have an accent. So they knew that you guys are foreigners, right? And the first thing they say is, fucking Strasian scum, right? We saw you coming into our village, thinking you could steal our work, our jobs. Filthy bastards, right? They all kind of just talk among themselves, figuring out what to do with you. Fucking peasants. How dare you come to our village? We should just murder you all, right? What do you have to say for yourself, Hrothgar? They're 20 feet from your position. You're the only one standing. The rest of your men are laying on the ground, hands over head, right? Afraid for their life. They don't want to get shot.
We have a slight amount of money. If you wish, you can have it. And I pull it out and show them the silver coin.
You fucking poor ass bastard. You should go back to the forest in which you came, you dirty forest monkey, right? And he walks over to you. This one's carrying a club, spiked club. We'll teach you a lesson, right? A couple of them grab one of your men who are laying on the ground while you watch. They seem to assume you might be the leader, right? So they grab a random guy of your crew and they hold him, and he's crying, right? It's one of your soldiers. His name is Adolwolf. He's the German, a young German boy, right? He's 17 years.
I ask them to please do it on me if they're going to kill somebody when they make.
They laugh for a moment, but one of them is at least honorable and accepts your offer. And they throw the boy back, and they come to you with a baseball bat, right? And they start caving your head in, right? They beat it over and over, and they teach the Stravian men that they should never come back here to find jobs. So they've caved their head in at this point. And from here, you can play as Adolf if you want, since Adolf was inspired by you. He sees his master
No,
get killed,
I think I'm fine for the night. Sorry.
right? But Thrakar is he gets his head crushed in. The men are just teary-eyed, right, just watching him die. Judas, you crawl into the grass, right? The men notice you crawl into tall grass, and they approach you and pull you from the grass and throw you back in, right? Make you watch as he gets killed. And they say, this man here is a coward, right? They hold you down. They ask the young men what they should do. If they should kill another one of them or kill you instead for your cowardice. We'll see as you try to flee the scene. So the men don't say anything because you're the last employer. What do you want to say, Judas?
Alright, them kill me.
You tell them to kill you instead?
Yeah. And I see my family.
Right. They kind of laugh at the statement and they say, this is what happens when your leader or one of you deserts because you're all scum, right? And they take another, they take the weapon of the man that they killed, right? They killed Hrothgar. They took his, I think he had a sword, right? His two-hander. Was that it? Let's see, Hrothgar. I know Hrothgar had the crossbow. They take his dagger out and they stab you, right? And they tell their own men different things in their own language, and they tell your men that you're a coward, pretty much. They throw you to the ground and leave, but you're not dead. You're just stabbed. So your men rush to your aid as you start to bleed and die. Here's your saving throw versus death. You might live through this. What's your wisdom?
My wisdom is 11.
Oh shit. Okay. You don't got much time. As you're bleeding, your men rush to your aid. Did you have any men, Judas? You had none, right?
I had 3 men.
You had 3? Oh, Oleg's, Enel, and Sior, right?
No, I had Anton, Aldo Wolf, and Irin.
Okay, those are your men. Sorry, I got it mixed up earlier. So they rush to your aid, all your men, whoever's left, and they're holding your wound as you're coughing on blood, and they tell you you're not a coward, right? Uh, they would have done the same, right? And these are, they followed you from the beginning, right? A few days ago, you guys were buddies, right? Drinking, eating. They're holding your wound down as you're bleeding out. You've got seconds to live. What's your final words, Judas?
So much for getting help.
Right.
That was my original.
So we made a choice to stay at the village one more night as foreigners, right? Getting a job here, but we were not exactly welcome, sadly. And Judas dies that night. So the band is few, but from here, your men were, inspired to some extent. Some broke morale, like Anton is broken. The rest of them are still holding up a little bit, but mostly broken at this point. Anil is broken, and Sior is broken. Let's see. Yeah, the others are still brave. So Sior's out of action. His character's just in a daze, right? He's like broken, right? Anil is broken. Anton is broken. The only ones left are that can take an action is Adolf, Anorin, and Gale, and Oleg's. So the 4 of them come together trying to figure out what to do from here. But you can play as one of your retainers from here on out. You want to play as Gale or Gale wasn't yours, right? It was.
How did you implement this feature? You can only play as Oleg's if I can.
Okay, so you're Oleg's. You're your last man. That's only if he did
When
not
did
break
you
morale.
implement that
You can take
feature?
your place. What was that?
When did you implement that feature?
It's always been a thing. If the retainer doesn't break morale, you can continue as your retainers. If they want to take your place, they're your heir, right? So take their captain's place, or player's place. So Oleg, you're the last in line. Your fellow men at arms or your brothers are Enel and Sior, and they're both broken. They just kind of sit there, not certain what to do. They just want to go home now. They're shivering in fear.
Well,
So
I guess we should start heading home.
Oleg's seeing that his employer is dead. He is not gonna follow his employer though. You can't play as him. You're dead. So Oleg is following whoever is left to lead. So the last one to die was, of course, so yeah. The only way is if they don't break morale against you. Oleg's broke morale against you because you died immediately. So he's no longer employed by you. He's his own man at the moment.
I'm the reason he woke up. What the fuck?
He doesn't know that. So he woke up to
Wait, he
arrows
didn't hear me
whizzing.
screaming?
No.
Oh shit, so my shit did nothing.
Like I said, it was mid sentence, right? You said something that wasn't enough to wake them. They most likely woke up from all the combat, right? All the arrows. That would have already been enough. So let's see.
Wait, is David's character still alive?
So let me go over the casualties. Judas is dead. David is dead. No, David's still in the party, but he's broken, not dead. He's broken morale, right? He's just laying in the grass, not certain what to do. All the men are dead. Or not the men, leaders are dead. He's the last leader, but he's broken. Hrothgar is dead. Let's see. So yeah, three casualties only. None of the retainers were killed. So, but a lot of them are out of action. Anton is out of action. Oleg's, no, not Oleg's. Anil and Sio are out of action. And there's a roll to see if they'll take their employer's place. Oleg's not taking his employer's place. He just wants to go home. He's not broken, but he's not with the party anymore. He wants to leave because the party's broken. He has no employer anymore. Let's see. Gale and all them that don't have an employer anymore, we got to roll to see if any of them are willing to take your place. So, did you want to take? Did you want to play as either Gale, Adolf, or Anarin?
I'll play.
Adolf. All right, I'll roll to see if he's willing to take your place. All right, I rolled an 8. What was your charisma?
13.
Okay, you were a good leader when you were alive, at least, and therefore that's a accepted offer. Adolf is actually willing to take his employer's place and be the new employer. So he says, like, if you men want to continue this, I will lead you. I will take his place, right? And Anarin is not broken yet, so he's gonna roll to see if he accepts the offer. Right. Anarin does not accept or decline. He thinks about it. He's like, I'm not certain, right? And for Gale, Gale's on board. He says, I will follow you, Adolf, right? And he goes to Adolf and pats his shoulder. Let's get us home. As for Oleg's, Oleg's is not certain either. So the other one that's motivated is Gale. The other two can move, but they're not in the party anymore because their leaders are dead. And the others who are out of action are just broken. Their characters are just sitting there. They're crying in fear, right? Shivering. So a bunch of broken men, a bunch of dead men, and only 2 men that can actually take actions. So it's just Adolf and Gale. Alright, you're Adolf now, the young German. Where do you want to take your men? This place is not safe to sleep anymore, right? You tried sleeping here, you got murdered. Or a lot of us did.
But it's still nighttime.
Yeah, you want to just go to sleep at this point?
Did the bandits take any of our leftover silver?
No, they didn't take any of your silver. They just came and taught you guys a lesson, right?
And what's the total?
The total what?
Yeah. I think we just try and head home.
Okay. You want to march home through the night, or do you want to sleep at the camp among the dead?
It'd be better if we go in the morning, so yeah, we'll sleep.
You tell your men get what rest they can. Right. You gather the dead, kind of set them to the side, leave them for the wolves, I suppose, or if you want, you can bury them tomorrow morning. But the men are exhausted, they're tired, and they're fearful. And again, three men or four men are out of action, and only 2 men are willing to act as a party, and the other 2 are just willing to act as a party until we get home, right? But they have no employer, so they don't take any orders. They're their own men. So again, Gale and Adolf are still a party, but Oleg's and Onderin, who are not broken morale, but they're not in the party either. So they're their own characters now.
Okay, does my lawful give me anything towards Oleg's?
No. Not at the moment. You're already dead. It's already passed. And you weren't here for that, so I don't even get the roll. It automatically fails. So if you
I
leave.
didn't know that was a thing.
Well, yeah. If you leave, then you're done. You're done playing. Alright. If you can, do not interrupt for the rest of the game, though, because you're not playing anymore. Alright. So Judas, you're the last one, or Kaden, or Angel, you're the last one. You're going to play as Adolf. Let's change your name. Alright. Let's see if anything happens for the rest of the night that you choose to sleep. Nothing happens. So your men get some sleep, or the best they can. In the morning, after what little breakfast we have left over, fresh food we've got left, you eat, right, or you try to at least. It's hard to swallow. You can hear already the buzzing sounds have begun, right? You can hear flies eating away it's summertime right now, so you can already hear the flies circling and flying around the 3 men who have died last night. But most of your men are broken, right? You try to feed your men, they barely eat. Where do you want to go from here at the wolf?
So best bet would be better if we went back home.
Okay. So you march your men home. You tell them, after breakfast, let's get moving, right? And you lead them home to the village. All right. So the village, you can use the road to get back to Straza. It takes you 2 miles east and then 3 miles, 2 leagues east, 1 league south, so 9 miles total. Is this fine?
Yeah.
All right. We'll roll to see if anything happens on the way. Safe travels. After about 4 hours of marching together, you force march your men, or at least you push your men forward, even those who are broken. They're willing to go home at least. So Anton, Anil, and Sior follow you guys home. But the moment you get past the gate and into the walls, Anton deserts, or not. He just leaves the party. So Anton's gone. Anil's gone. Sior's gone. And then, of course, we're gonna make one last roll, I guess, for Oleg to see if he'll stay in the party or not. But his employer is dead, so there's really no point. No one's paying him. Right? He leaves the party, and let's see. There's one more. It's Honorin. Honorin, thinking about the offer. When we finally get back home alive, he actually accepts the offer to be employed under Adolf. Do you want to hire him, Adolf? He'll become your retainer. What was that?
Yeah, I'll hire him.
Okay, you hire him. All right. Let's double check how much game time we've got left. All right, we've got about 40 minutes of game time left, but your party's mostly decimated. We've got only 2 members left. They're both retainers. Do you want to call it here, or do you want to hire new men and try again?
You said we have 4 more minutes?
40 more minutes of gameplay.
How many more minutes can we hire?
Let's see. Adolf, we have to actually roll his abilities first to find out. Let me list the casualties again. So, just gonna erase these sheets. We lost Hrothgar. Yesterday we lost. What's the release? We lost Basil. Right, Basil died. We also lost Judas. And we lost. That's it. Yeah. So only 3 casualties, and the rest are just out of action. So let's see. Adolf is your new character. Let me change his name. He's now under House Angel. Alright, rolling his strength. His strength is 13. He's a strong young man. Alright, here's his intelligence. Yeah, intelligence is 8. His wisdom is 9. No, wait, that's not a 9. That's 11. Sorry. His dexterity is 14. His constitution is 4, so he's pretty small. And his charisma is 9. He can lead up to 4 men at once. He already has 1, which is no, he has 2, right? He's keeping Honorin, and he's keeping who is it? Is Gale, right? Those are his men.
Yeah. Okay, Gale, and who was the other one?
Gale and Honorin. Honorin is Aneurin.
What about items?
Yes, one moment. Alright. When it comes to items, starting with Gale, most of these men looted. Also, they looted their employers yesterday. So Adolf looted his own employer, who was, of course, Judas. Adolf took his symbol, club, and bag.
Is that it?
There's more. Let's see. He also took the tinderbox, the 3 torches, the sling. And then he took the medicine and bandage as well.
Alright, got it.
As for Gale, let's see. There's only Dizzle and Hrothgar and Judas that were killed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say Gale looted Hrothgar.
Well, convinced Bezo and Rhaegar.
Oh wait, I think Gale belonged to
Gale belongs to David.
David. So but David's not dead. David just quit. So
Yeah.
Hrothgar ended up looting Bezo, we'll say, which that means he took the key, the longbow, the 20 arrows.
So he took a key?
Yep, the key, the longbow, the 20 arrows. He also took the pack and the 10-foot pole.
What was the first thing too?
Pack and 10-foot pole.
Okay.
He took a tinderbox, He took 6 torches, so that's a total of 9 torches now.
Okay.
He also has his own clothes on. By the way, Adolf also had some things on him already. He had clothes and a pickaxe that was given to him earlier. Clothing and pickaxe for Adolf. But back to Gale. Gale also has a 50-foot rope and a knife. That's it. So Gale, 50-foot rope and knife. Right. And then the last member of your crew was Honorin. Honorin looted he looted Hrothgar. No, wait, did somebody loot? No, no one looted Hrothgar yet. So he took his key, his crossbow, 10 corals.
10 what?
10 corals or bolts.
Alright.
A dagger and a pack.
Alright, got it. Is that it?
A few more things. Let's see. He got the tinderbox and 6 torches. And he also has a bandage and crowbar.
Alright, got it.
Alright, that's it. So your men are well equipped at least with their employer's old gear. Alright. From here, you can do some more jobs. Do you want to try to escort another caravan or something else?
I'll try some.
Okay. Any ideas, or do you want some ideas?
Give me some ideas.
Okay. Let's say you're sitting at the tavern, figuring things out one evening, right? Or the day you got back to the village, because you're just trying to recover, figure how you're gonna pay your bills, right? The next order of business. And of course, there's the outlaws you can try to hunt down at the bandit camp if you're ready for that. You were too small for something like that now. Another task we could try is going into the markets for employment. You can try to talk to the villagers for employment or the tavern keeper for employment. Who would you like to look for, or where do you want to find a job?
I'll seek the town.
Tavern keeper? Okay. Okay, so you go to the tavern keeper and ask if he has any jobs or knows of any jobs around. And it does end up telling you something. Let me see. Roll, see what he tells you. Alright. It's a pretty good job he has heard that is going around, right? So he actually tells you a very easy job. Basically, he knows of this scholar who needs a particular place mapped out. He just needs basically a group of adventurers to go out and mark a position on the map and confirm that a particular ruin does exist. That's it. It's as simple as that. If you can complete this task and just confirm that a particular ruin does exist and where it exists, right, you will be paid. And the payment is pretty decent. It's going to be a payment of 30 silvers if you manage to get the task done. All you gotta do is go out into the wilderness, see something and say it's there, mark it on your map, and come back.
Sounds good. Good job.
Okay, so the timekeeper tells you he'll be in contact with the man soon, right? And let him know that you guys are here for the job. So he sends a servant out to fetch the employer that's looking for workers. Naturally, this employer hired the tavern keeper to find him, and the tavern keeper, of course, sends a boy out to go get the employer. So eventually, the employer finds you in the tavern. You guys talk with him. He goes over a map and tells you, "Alright, look here. So, you see this? It's an old stronghold that used to belong to an ancient civilization. I hope, my hopes is at some point, this will belong to the realm of mankind again. Particularly to me. I want this castle. I want to bring it back to its former glory. But the first step to doing this is I actually need to know it's still there. I'm a bit too old to go there on a wild goose chase, if that makes sense. So I just need a group like yourselves who might be good at hunting down a particular landmark to just make sure it's still there. Still maybe perhaps recoverable, if that makes sense."
Yeah.
Very well. I appreciate your timely acceptance of the job. So this ruin that I seek, it's far inland, if that's alright with you. It's gonna be harder to survive there. Very little water. If there is water, you have to find it. Mountains, the river, and such. But you won't be very close to the coast. You'll be going inland, into the country, deep into the country. And the location of this ruin, it's apparently 5 leagues out to the east. Particularly, it's toward the it should be directly east of us. Somewhere out there, directly east of us, is where this ruin is. Do you think you could find it? And if you can, again, I say it's 5 leagues somewhere to the east, more or less.
Is that again 5 what?
Find this ruin, castle ruin, to the east, an old stronghold. Find it, come back, mark on your map, of course. And if this appears true to what I already know, then you'll be paid the 30 silver that I've promised to anyone who can confirm its location.
Sounds good to me. We'll go find your place.
Very good. Okay. You shake hands, you sign papers, gives you a map of what he already knows. Just kind of describes the surrounding lands to the east. But basically, what you've got to do is you got to move a party to the east, and then basically just search the land, right? Go in circles around the land and search for the ruin. So if you're in the right area, you might be able to spot it. If you're not in the right hex, you won't have it. You won't have a chance of spotting it at all, right? So, all right. Let's see.
But before we head out, how much silver do we have? Did we get any of the silver from our previous employers?
We'll say you looted them. So one of you guys looted Judas. It was you. Adolf looted Judas for 1 silver. So Adolf, you have 2 silvers. And then see, someone looted Hrothgar. It was Gale who looted Hrothgar, so he's got 2 silvers. But that's his. So you only have 2 silvers to spend since you're Adolf. Okay.
How much is a flask?
A flask?
Yeah.
I think it's 1 or 2 coppers. Let me double check. It's 1 copper for a flask. You have 20 coppers pretty much.
I'll take 2 flasks.
2 flasks? Okay. You have 18 coppers left.
Okay. And once I get the money, fill them up before we get out.
Alright, good to go.
Alright, I'm ready to head out.
Okay, so that's Adolf, 1.8 silvers left. Got some water just in case. Alright, let's travel. So, you begin your travels to the east, on foot, in search of this ruin. an old castle ruin to the east. Your job is just to confirm it's there, right, and mark it the exact location on your map. The first 3 miles of your march are open or not open. It's just forested hills. Okay, it's the first 3 miles of your march. Okay, the next 3 miles of marching are open grasslands. So now we're 2 leagues from the village. The hills took us about, so it's 3 miles of hills. You march the rate of 2 miles an hour, but through the hills you'll move slower. So it took you about 3 hours to get through the first 3 miles of hills, or 2.5 hours. And then to get through the grasslands, it takes you about 1.5 hours. Okay, so the next area, the next league, is more grasslands. So now 2.5 plus 1.5 plus another 1.5 is about 5.5 hours. You've been marching for 5.5 hours. And a normal man marches for 8 hours a day, and then from there they're exhausted. So you're 5.5 hours out, and you've only covered 3 leagues so far. Okay, here's the next league. The next league of land is just open grasslands still for miles around. That's another 1.5 hours of marching. So we're now at 5.5 plus 1.5. We're at 7 hours of marching. So you're almost at the end of the day. You want to keep going, or do you want to encamp here?
Okay, but that's another point. What you say we're in the grasslands right now, right?
Yes, we're in open grasslands.
Okay.
So
Around us is it short grass, long grass?
to rest, you'll need at least 8 hours of sleep, and then you can march again normal.
Okay. We'll rest, but we're not gonna set up a campfire. We're just gonna sleep.
All right, sleep in the darkness in the summer. At night it gets a little chilly, but that's about it. All right, you try your best to rest out here then. Okay, right now it's afternoon at the moment. Your men are just trying their best to rest, to recover from the marching. Okay. While we are resting in the grasslands, it's around late afternoon when our men start to hear things. You're all just resting, chatting, enjoying yourselves in the tall grass, right? Just kind of laying back and basking in the sun. When you all start to hear what sounds like a weird fizzing sound. It's coming from every direction, right? You're not surprised by it, but it's at a safe distance of roughly about 120 feet from your position. You're hearing all this like weird fizzing sound. You want to ready up for combat, or what's your move?
I'll quickly tell everyone to duck down behind the grass.
All right. You stay quiet. You hide in the grasses, and eventually the sound fades. You just hear a certain sound of like buzzing and fizzing and like wings beating, right? Like insect wings, but they're gone now. They've flown by. So that was a strange encounter. We are safe though. Okay. The next day, after, well, let's roll to see if anything happens that night. Yeah. During the night hour, night shift, we do get another encounter, sadly. You have 3 men, right? So one of you are trying your best to stay awake. This time, the one that's on watch is Anurin was on watch at this time. So you're not awake for this part, but he encounters something while you guys are sleeping. Alright, rolling, and yeah, so now I know what it is. He's hearing weird noises in the distance. Something's approaching the camp. So it's at a safe distance. Our party's not surprised. But it's completely dark, and he starts to stir you guys awake. And you wake up to the sound of what sounds like, um, it sounds like a pig in the distance, but a very deep and loud and bellowing pig, oinking, right? It's oinking and snorting in the far distance. It sounds huge, right? Whatever it is, like a deep oink, very heavy oink. What the fuck, right? You might say. Do you want to just keep sleeping or something else?
We'll stay low in the grass and we'll just wait for it to pass by before we
Right. It's approaching, and you guys stay low to the ground. Hopefully, it won't notice us. We have no firelight. We're just in tall grass. I'm gonna roll to see if whatever it is notices our party. It's doing a hear noise as it passes through. Whatever it is, it's getting pretty close on our party's position at this point. The party's getting pretty scared at this point. It's getting really close.
I'm gonna tell my part to start moving towards the opposite direction of what's coming towards us. See if we can get away from it.
You wanna throw a torch, you said?
No. Start moving away from it.
Oh, start moving away? Alright, you guys start crawling away?
Yeah, start crawling away.
Alright, you crawl away from wherever it's approaching. You crawl through the tall grass, try to avoid it. And it passes through the area, fortunately. It passed through the area you guys were camped in. So if you guys stayed there, it would have moved on your position, but it's gone past you now. When you guys move positions, it just goes through the area you were in and continues on its merry way. What it was, it looked like a massive boar, a boar that was the size of a cow, a giant boar, right? It did not smell good either. It smelled horrible, and it was followed by a few others. Okay. By morning, after what little rest you were able to acquire from that nightmarish night, um, there's little to nothing to eat at this point. You men are starting to go hungry. Okay, so shall we press on to the east and try to find the ruins?
Yeah.
Okay. You have moved another league to the east. This terrain is just grasslands still, and you're looking for a castle. And your grasslands are the easiest areas to find ruins, naturally, because there's open fields for miles around. Okay, so as you're crossing this area of grasslands, about an hour into the march, in the distance you indeed have spotted an old crumbling castle in the middle of the grasslands, right, surrounded by the ruins of a village. But on a grassy hill, looking above the rest of the ruins, is indeed an old castle ruin to the east.
Alright, we'll head to the room.
You want to go to the ruins, or do you want to just mark on your map and head home?
Is there any like bushes around the room? Maybe to find some berries or something. Or is it just grass?
You're in open grasslands for miles around.
Okay.
But there is a river that flows through the village, it looks like, and it's forested, so you can find food there.
Yeah, we'll head there and see if we can find some nuts or berries. Something to keep us energized before we head back.
Alright, try to get some sustenance. You go into the village, and you try to gather the food this day. The village has some edibles, fruits, and berries. Throughout the day, if you're willing, you can spend this day just foraging as much food as you can. And the next day you can head back, right? So you can take shelter in the ruin, and the next day you can try your getting back to Straza. So today you can just pack up on food, so you have enough food to make the entire journey back to Straza. Or do you want to just like grab what food you can and just start heading back now?
No, we'll gather as much food as we can. We'll rest in the room, and the next day we'll head back.
All right, gotta go because we already marched for about 1.5 hours, I think, to get to the ruin. So we only can march for another 5.5 hours before we're tired again. So if we get all the food here, rest here, next day we have a fresh 8 hours with food, right, to march with. So you'll do that. You gather what food you can. Let's see how much food we can get. All right, collectively, your men gather a total of 2 days worth of food. So it's only enough food for 2 men for 2 days, or 3 men for a day and a half, maybe, right? So it's about 6 pounds of food, 6 pounds worth of berries, nuts, vegetables, right? 6 handfuls of food you were able to pull together from this river that day after 8 hours of foraging. You only got, about 6 pounds of it. For a wild game, you were able to like try to catch small animals and fish too. I'll roll for that. If you have a missile weapon, which we do have missile weapons, we got longbows and crossbows. The 2 of you can hunt small game. When it comes to small game, you get a total of 7 pounds of small game. So 7 small animals were hunted, about a pound of meat each. So, see, that's a total. So 7 pounds in our 2 days. So we got 4 days of food total, which is enough food for 3 men for 1 day, and a little extra after a day of foraging/hunting. Alright, so that's the day. That 1 pound of food, we'll eat that tonight for dinner, right? Each of you will eat it, or that the day of food, the extra day, is worth 3 pounds of food. Each day of food is 3 pounds of food. So you guys eat dinner tonight together at least. The next day we'll have enough food for all day. If that makes sense. But that'll be the end of it. You'll have just enough food for 1 whole day. Tomorrow at least. So let's get some rest. Let's see if we encounter anything during our time at the ruins. Okay. In the late afternoon at the ruins, during like past the dinner period, right? Or actually maybe before dinner, there was unfortunately an encounter. A ruin encounter. Let's see what we get. 1 and 3. Okay. Alright. While you were in the ruins, we did encounter some wild animals here. We found some wild cows, right? Or ox, right? So while you're just foraging along the river, you guys found some wild cows. Did you want to try to hunt one down or leave them alone? They can be very deadly because they're wild. They're not normal cattle.
How many are there?
There's a total of 10 of them. Half of them are male, half of them are female. But the males are really big, right? And they have some offspring too.
Some what?
They have babies too, calves.
Let me guess. Yeah, we'll leave them.
Right. So you leave them be, and you encamp the ruins, and you sleep, and the next day, after breakfast, you begin your journey home. Alright, let's roll to see if we encounter anything on the way back. 4, okay, we're safe. So, we will travel 12 miles on foot. We go 1.5 hours to grasslands. A total of, there's a lot, 4 leagues of grasslands to get through. 4 leagues times 1.5. That's 6 hours of marching, I think. So getting through the grasslands is 6 hours. You have 2 hours left to get through the hills. Let's see, 1.5. Yeah, or it takes you march at 2 miles an hour, so 6 miles is 3 hours. Yeah, okay. So, and for the hills, that's tells us 33%. So if we move 2 miles an hour, we have 2 hours left to march. 1.33 each time. So we do arrive at the hills. If we force march through the hills, we can get back to the village. But that means you'll be exhausted by the time you get back to the village. But it's okay because you'll be in the village by then. So you want to force march your men into the village, or do you want to just encamp and start fresh in the morning the next day?
We'll force march.
Okay, you just power on, power march through the last bit of the distance. You get home exhausted, you'll need time to rest, but the adventure should end here, right? We're getting close to the end, so let's wrap it up. You get back, you survive the trip, you've confirmed the location of the ruins, and your employer pays you your due, what you're due. He's happy that you found. He's like, oh, great work out there, adventurers. I knew I can count on you. Now, of course, I know this is true that you found it because I hired 2 groups, one last week and then you this week. Naturally, this helps confirm that neither group was lying. If you have stated that it's 5 miles east and marked on your map too, they did the same, then I know that both of you were telling the truth. And yeah, after taking note of this, he writes the contract complete, and then of course he brings you a pouch of coins. It's 10 silvers to each of your guys then, since it's 30 total. Just split it evenly. Is that fine with you, or do you want to give them less? Naturally, since you led, they might get less. You might pay them less.
What was that?
Do you want to pay everyone equally in your party, or do you want to split it and give them half shares instead, since they followed you and you led?
I'll split it equally.
Equally? Alright, they're very happy, because if you split equally, they get overpaid. In that case, the morale increases. Alright, so at the Wolf, you now have 11.8 silvers. Gale has plus 10 as well, so he has 12 silvers.
Alright.
And of course, Honorin has 11 silvers now total. That's it. Alright. We got 13 minutes left, but I think we can cut it short here. And we'll try again. If you're still awake later tonight, I'll run another game. But otherwise, thanks for playing, Angel. It was fun. You got out alive. You made some profit, at least, with your level 0 character.
Oh, yeah, but since Wolf is now one of my playable characters, we still haven't given him his hit points in his class.
Yeah, he doesn't have a class quite yet. Normal men have no class until they get 1 point of experience. So, do you want to spend 1 money on experience points, and then you can level up to level 1?
How much is for experience points?
And right now his hit points are 4 hit points. So minimum 4 hit points so far. Or let me see his constitution. His constitution is -2 actually, so he has 2 hit points.
Right.
But it costs 1 silver to level up.
1 silver? Yeah. I'll use 1 silver.
Okay. What class would you like?
Well, he has 13 strength, 8 intelligence, 11 wisdom, 14 dex, 4 constitution, and 9 charisma. What do you recommend?
Fighter or thief?
I'll do fighter.
Okay. Hit points are changing. Before hit points change, what ability do you want to increase? I suggest your constitution.
Yeah, I'll do constitution.
You want to do a full reroll?
Yeah.
Your constitution is 11. So you get from weak man to strong or decently strong man when it comes to his vitality.
11. Alright. So what's his hit points?
1d8 flat. It's gonna be. Oh. I rolled a 2, so it's just 2. Yeah, doesn't change. He's a 2 hit point fighter. Alright, it's okay. He has fighting skill now, so he attacks at twice the rate from now on.
Alright, that sounds good. And one more question. So the men, Dale and Aaron, do they stay with my household or?
They're not in your house. They're your servants, so they're your retainers. They could join your house if you marry them into your family or swear them in as your knights, right? But that's only if they want to, right? Right now, they're just your servants.
Okay, but it's not like go out on another adventure. I can always bring them on with me, right?
Yes, but you have to make them an offer. Just like real life players, they can leave. Servants can leave too. They can choose to quit, right?
And if I adopt them into my household or tell them to become my knights?
Then you could play as them if you die or if you retire. But even if they become your knights, they can still choose to not go with you. The only time that they have no choice but to play is when you play as them actively, right? Because that will be your character, right?
Okay, but if they're knights, I can still tell them. I don't have to offer them anything to come along with me on my adventure.
Right. Yeah. They're your loyal retainers. Next time you play, you don't have to pay them right away. You just pay them after the adventure, right? Like you pay them their normal wage. You don't have to like pay a down payment or anything, hiring fee.
Right, that sounds good. Alright,
Yep.
it was nice playing with you.
It was a pleasure. Have a good one, Angel.
So when's your next game?
Plan to run it in about 2 to 3 hours from now. I'm gonna go get my haircut, eat some food, and then I'm gonna run another game.
Alright, I might be on my friend.
I'll see you. Thanks for playing.